Today we're going to be taking a look at the Good Smile Company Figma 300 King Leonidas figure. So what is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Daredevil18 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Figma King Leonidas from the movie 300, which was an awesome movie. But this piece right here is looking incredible. The detail looks very nice, decent amount of accessories, but I heard the articulation seems to be a bit iffy. Let's find out for ourselves and start the review off first with the packaging for the King Leonidas figure. Alright, so pretty basic packaging for Figma. We got red as the main color of the box, and we get a picture of the shield right there on the bottom with blood splatter going onto the window, which looks pretty cool. It says Max Factory, Good Smile Company, warning, blah 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 blah, the window Figma 270 Leonidas 300 300. And then the bottom of it says the same thing, and then we get a picture of the figure right there. And then the top of it, same thing as well. Then the other side of it, we get a different picture of Leonidas there, says the same stuff. And then the other side here, different image of the figure, says the same stuff as well. And then the back of the packaging shows a bunch of different poses you can get the figure into, along with some of his accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this open and take a closer look at the King of Sparta. Alrighty, so taking a closer detailed look, and Good Smile Company or Figma did a very nice job on this piece. The likeness of Gerard Butler definitely is there. Looks just like the actor that played King Leonidas. I really like the the scar that they put right around the eye. It is sculpted and painted in there. We get some paint under the eyes and in between the eyes as well. I think that looks very nice. The one thing I noticed right away, this is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to figures. Just look at the eyes. As you can tell, the yelling, screaming face sculpt, the eyes are all crooked. Now that's one of the things I hate the most when it comes to collecting figures, and I know a lot of collectors hate that as well. It just looks stupid, and you get pissed off because I spent about, what, 55, 60 bucks on this plus shipping, and I gotta get a face sculpt with crooked eyes. Like, come on, you guys gotta pay attention to that more. It's not as bad on this one. The right eye looks a little off-centered compared to the left one, but it's definitely not as bad as the yelling, screaming one. It's like I can't even use that face sculpt now. So that's a big disappointment right off the bat right there. But other than that, the face sculpts, they did a very nice job on them. They look just like Gerard Butler. The sculpt of the beard and the hair looks pretty cool. The paint's nice and clean all throughout it. We do get his weird-looking braid that goes around his head and then down the back of his hair right there. So pretty cool looking. We do get his necklace here, which is brown. You get a little bit of black wash in it, and then the paint for the tooth right there looks pretty cool. I think that's the tooth that he got from the wolf that he killed in the beginning of the movie when he was a kid. Then we get this brown strap going around the shoulders to the back. A little bit of black wash all throughout it, so that looks nice. Nice sculpt work on it. We do get black for the buckle there, and then for the notches on the strap, they painted black inside them, so nice work by Good Smile or Figma on that one. Now the skin tone, nice paint work on it. We get some nice paint shading all throughout it. The muscle definition looks good. We get some veins going on right there. I think he has a scar right here. That doesn't look like a vein. Looks more like a scar to me. But one thing I noticed, if you look at the face sculpt, the skin tone on the face sculpt, it looks a little more pale compared to the rest of the skin tone on the body. So that's a minor issue right there that I got with the figure. But the gauntlets look awesome. That's probably one of my favorite parts, the gauntlets and the shin guards right there. I love the gold paint that they used for it. We do get a nice black wash all throughout it, and then some black paint, like some lines all throughout it as well. So nice work on the gauntlets there. Then we get some brown for the ties that hold them on to his forearm there. So nice work by Figma or Good Smile on that one. Then we get the Hanes underwear that they used back in the day. It is brown plastic with some black wash going all throughout it. Then we get the strap that holds the sheath here. The one thing I don't like, we cannot sheath his sword. I think that's kind of stupid. I know they could have made it so we could sheath up his sword. So that's a little disappointing. But the sheath does look very nice. As you see, we do get some stitching going all around the edging right there. The edges. It is sculpted and painted black too, so nice work on just the sheath right there. And then the back of the strap, they do have black for the buckle, so that's pretty cool. And then we do get some paint shading on the legs as well. Another favorite part of mine is the shin guards. I think they look badass. They did a nice job with them. Beautiful sculpt work on them, and nice paint work also. We do get a black wash going all throughout it, but very nice work on the shin guards. And we do get some brown ties that tie them onto his lower legs there. And then we do get these Spartan sandals. They do have brown straps going all around the feet, and they are sculpted on there, so that's something I like also. And then we do get black for the bottom part, and then there's the bottom of them right there. I mean, overall, they did a very nice job on the detail so far. The paint and the sculpt look great. The couple things I don't like is the skin tone is a little more pale on the face compared to the rest of the body. I don't like how we can't sheath up the sword, and I think... Oh, and also the crooked eyes that I got on the yelling, screaming face sculpt. So those are the few things I don't like. Other than that, they did a very nice job with the detail. But anyway, let's continue on, shall we? Just wanted to let you know that the paint does rub extremely easy on this figure, so be careful of that. And when you interchange the hands, the wrist pegs always pop out with the hands, so that gets a little annoying. Just wanted to let you know that really quickly. Anyway, continuing on. Now, moving on to the accessories, we get a bunch of dope stuff included with this piece. We do get a Figma stand, which is included with every Figma figure, along with a bag. This is something I don't really care for too much. I know a lot of people like it to put all the accessories in. We also do get an extra ball peg, which I think is for the wrist in case you break yours. So that's pretty cool, they included that. Now for the good stuff, we do get his spear right here, which looks awesome. Let's focus the camera. There we go. I do like the spear tip. I think it looks awesome. I like how it's black paint, and then they did put some silver to give it like a wear type look. So very nice. The rest of it is brown plastic. Then we get this lighter brown paint here, which is supposed to be like wrapping, so that's pretty cool. Then the rest is just all brown there, as you can see. And then we do get this piece at the end, which you can unpeg. And then you could slide the gripping hands or the gripping hand with either one or two of them in there so you could have them hold on to it. And then you just peg that back in there. So pretty cool that you do that. And then we do have his sword, which is probably one of my favorites. I really like the black paint they used. And then there is a little bit of silver to give it that battle-worn type look. So very nice work by Figma there. Then we do get brown for the handle. And then we do get the worn look on these pieces as well. And then to get them to grip onto it, you just unpeg it at the end there, slide the hand on, and then just peg this piece back in. So simple as that. So we get that sword, and then we also get his shield, which I think is my favorite accessory. They really did an amazing job on it. The paint looks great. I love the black wash all throughout it. Just all those little holes are all sculpted in there. Just very nice work. This is some nice work there. Around the edge looks cool. And then, as you see right here, we get this strap and then the handle. Now, the way you have them hold it, you got to use the gripping hand. You unpeg this piece. Well, you got to unpeg both of them, or take that off, and then unpeg the handle here. And then, as you can see, to get them to grip onto it, you unpeg it there, slide the hand on, peg it back in like so. And then you have them holding onto it, and then you slide this over his arm. Like so, and then there you go. But it does seem like the gauntlet is going to get in the way because that looks too thin, and I feel like it's not going to pop down all the way. So it'll probably end up being like that. So you might not even need to use this, to tell you the truth. But they did some nice paint on there. We do get a little bit of black paint shading. They did paint the like screws or bolts right there, so pretty cool looking. I just like the paint on this side. It looks very nice. So we do get a shield, which looks awesome, and then we also get 8 interchangeable hands. We get a pair of fists, which I think look a little too big compared to the figure, but nice sculpt and paint work on it. We get some paint shading on there, so that looks pretty cool. So we get a pair of those. And then we do get a pair of gripping hands here, which is for him to grip onto either his shield, his sword, or his spear. Nice sculpt and paint. Then we get some open hands here. Nice sculpt and paint again, and we get some more open type hands again. So we get a pair of all three of those. And then the fists, so those are the interchangeable hands. And then we also get two interchangeable faces and interchangeable hair pieces along with two helmets. So these are the interchangeable faces that I kind of showed you guys before in the detail. Like I said, great likeness to Gerard Butler on both of them. I'm just really pissed off that I had crooked eyes on this one. And nice sculpt and paint on both of them. So they did a nice job with that. The way you interchange them is you just pop the face off here, and then you put the new one on there like so, and there you go. So pretty simple to do that. And then we do get a interchangeable hairpiece, which has a, I guess like a notch or peg, a thicker peg on it, a rectangular shaped peg. But this is for his helmet, which I will show you right now. We do get two of them, as you can see here. Now this is King Leonidas's, because this is the King's helmet with the horsehair on there. And this is just a regular Spartan helmet. So Figma tried to be slick, and they want you to buy a bunch of Leonidas's to army build. So if you want to just buy a bunch of the same character to army build it, which I think isn't that cool because you just have a bunch of Leonidas's. But that's why they included this extra helmet here. So I guess it's cool in a way if you're a big army building fan. But nice sculpt and paint on it. It looks beautiful. I like the gold paint with the black wash on it. So that looks nice. And we do get Leonidas's King helmet right here, which looks amazing. Nice paint and nice sculpt on it. I like how this is all sculpt work. I believe this is horsehair, because that's what it looks like. But as you see in both of them, they do have the insert for this peg right here, and you just slide it in like so, and it just pegs in like that, and there you go. It looks awesome. I mean, I'm probably going to have my figure displayed with the helmet on because that just looks badass. So pretty cool that we have those two different display options. And then the last accessory is cloak or robe or cape, whatever you want to call it. And I love that it's cloth. It's a nice red color. Nice and wide also, and we do have this piece on the front, which is sculpted and painted very well. The paint, like the color scheme and stuff, is the same as like the shin guards, the shield, and the gauntlets and stuff, so that's pretty cool. It does look like there's a hood on the back, but kind of misleads you. It's not really a hood. But the way to put it on, you can pop the figure's head off, pop it on, and pop the head back on, or you could do it the lazy way like me, and just slide it over the head like so, and then there you go, you got Leonidas with his cloak on. And I like how wide it is, kind of like reminds me of Batman's cape, but I'm really happy that they included it, and it's cloth. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with King Leonidas. Let's keep moving on. So now for the height of King Leonidas, he stands just a little under 6 inches tall, and then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Kakashi figure and the SH Figuarts San Diego Comic-Con Piccolo figure. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Darth Maul figure and the SH Figuarts Joker figure. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Goku figure and the SH Figuarts Premium Color Super Saiyan Vegeta figure. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. Alrighty, so now for the articulation, we get 1 point at the upper neck and 1 at the lower. We get beautiful movement at the upper neck joint there. He can look pretty much all the way up, so that's awesome. He can look down a decent amount. We get some beautiful pivot there, and it does swivel. You can do the Night at the Roxbury. So nice joint at the upper neck right there. Then the lower neck does go forward and back, it does pivot, and it swivels as well. So we get some beautiful movement just at the lower and upper neck joint there. The diaphragm joint, not so well because it does not really crunch forward at all, so that's kind of lame. It does go back a little bit, so that's alright. We do get slight pivot, and it does swivel very good there. Now for the waist, that goes forward better than the diaphragm joint. It does go back a little bit, do get some pivot, and it does swivel as well. So that's a little disappointing at the diaphragm joint that it can't crunch forward. Now for the arms, they really don't go up that much without you having to pop the joint out. So they go up that much without popping the joint out. Then it can go up a little bit more, but the joint, as you can see, pops out a little bit, so you can go up 90 degrees, but then you got to push the joint back in. That's something I don't really like that much with Figma. It does swivel a little bit up there as well, but we don't get bicep swivel. That's disappointing. We do get a single bend at the elbow, and then we do get swivel up there, so that's where you're going to have to work out your swivel instead of at the bicep. So it swivels at that part and then at the forearm, so that's pretty cool. The wrists swivel and then they hinge back and forth. For the legs, they go forward about 90 degrees. They really do not go to the back at all. They kick out to the side about 90 degrees, so that's good. We do get swivel up there. We get a single bend at the knee that bends back a little more than 90 degrees, so that's good. And for the ankles, they do swivel, but then they get hindered by the lower leg armor, so that kind of sucks. They hinge up a decent amount and then down a decent amount. We do get some pretty good pivot there, and then some toe articulation. So, nice movement with this Leonidas. Some spots are hindered and aren't the greatest points of articulation, but overall, we do get some pretty good movement with this King Leonidas. But overall, I do recommend this to 300 fans. Is it the best figure? No, it's not, but it is the best 6-inch scale Leonidas figure that is around right now, and it is a great piece to have on display. A few issues I had with the figure is that the forearm strap on the shield doesn't fit around the forearm. I do have the issue of paint rubbing way too easily, the crooked eye, and then some hindered spots of articulation. But it is a really dope figure. The detail looks fantastic. They captured the likeness of Gerard Butler very well with this. We get a bunch of awesome accessories, the cloth cape, the weapons, the shield. So we get some cool accessories included with this one. The articulation is okay for the most part, but like I said, we do get some hindered movement in certain areas. And if you would like to get a Figma King Leonidas, he does retail between $55 through $65 depending on where you purchase it. If you would like to get one, you could head over to agelessgeeks.com. He should have them in stock any day now. But anyway, that is my review of the Good Smile Company Figma King Leonidas figure. Hope you enjoyed my review. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, and favorite the video too. And if you like, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, just give it a thumbs up anyway, because action figures are awesome. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Good Smile Company. That's what it's called. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Good Frown Company. But let's get into the review. So pretty much basic packaging for Figma. On the top it says Max, damn it. The SH Figuarts, and the SH Figuarts Premium Color Super Saiyan, We do get a nice cape though. This is a very nice cape. Yeah, it's nice. Really nice.